Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. And earlier this week, we got a new blue post with some class updates, which includes buffs and nerfs to our favorite playstyles for both PvE and PvP content. But in a last-minute decision, Blizzard decided to pull back on some of these updates, specifically the crippling nerfs planned for the spec of Destruction Warlock. Though both Hunters and Warlocks are looking to get even more Mythic Plus performance reductions coming later in Season 4. We also got a massive update to the internal developer build of the next expansion of Dragonflight. With the next expansion set to release by the end of the year 2022, Blizzard has a limited time window, and this major update to the encrypted build of Dragonflight could signal that they're getting ready for a public alpha or beta very soon. But right before we get into these updates, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to catch regular patch 9.5 updates and changes, as well as potentially more future Dragonflight announcements. First, let's talk about the postponed changes and upcoming updates. This week, Destruction Warlocks were on the chopping block, and they were expected to see a sizable decrease in their overall performance inside of AoE Mythic Plus content. These updates were going to impact their single target damage slightly, though breaking the interaction between the Reign of Chaos talent and the Blasphemy 4 set tier set bonus was going to massively impact their AoE output. In a last minute change, Blizzard has delayed Destruction nerfs until Season 4. And in that same post, they announced that more AoE nerfs are coming to the specs of Destruction and Survival with a brand new season. Both the playstyles of Survival and Destruction are amped with overwhelming AoE damage, mostly from their tier set bonuses added in the patch 9.2, which makes them super desirable and popular when it comes to AoE content. While we don't have a full list of all the class changes planned for Season 4, many in the community are hoping that Blizzard will amp up some of the playstyles that are less represented in Mythic Plus endgame. Specs like Feral Druid, Shadow Priest, and Affliction Warlocks generally suffer in AoE, which leads to a poor representation and lower population numbers. And hopefully we'll see slight buffs to give more attention to those underrepresented playstyles. Besides that, we also got some brand new updates as of this Tuesday-Wednesday reset. We did cover all of these changes in great detail earlier this week, but I will go over them briefly in case you never watched that video update. Starting with Bear Druids, who saw a very slight DPS increase in all single target situations. The tank spec of Demon Hunter also saw small gains in damage and healing, specifically when it comes to boss fights and single target raid fights. The class of Hunter saw a nerf to their best PvP legendary. This nerf also affects their defensive value greatly as it diminishes the effectiveness of the survival tactics PvP talent. For mages, the conduit that shortens your cooldown of blink just got nerfed for PvP, which has an interesting interaction between fire mages and the defensive talents of Blazing Soul. We also saw a defensive reduction to the crit value of Netherwind armor. Both of these changes will impact the survivability of Fire Mage, but it will also reduce the defensive value of Arcane and Frost. Mistral Monks are seeing an improvement to their healing within PvP, both when it comes to sustained as well as burst healing output. The buff to the Chrysalis talent will make him better at reacting to burst damage more often. The Paladin's Templar's Verdict Conduit is seeing its damage cut back by 50% within PvP. We're also seeing an offensive nerf to the Shield of Vengeance ability, however the shield will still have its full defensive potential. The spec of Holy is seeing more PvP nerfs, starting with overall PvP mana reduction, as well as a crowd control reduction on Holy Word Chastise and the Censure talent. A nerf to Ray of Hope PvP talent will impact their ability to deal with burst damage less often. While Holy Priest is getting nerfed, Shadow is seeing a buff. Both Shadow Word Pain and Vampiric Touch are seeing a damage amp in PvP. The spec of Owl Rogue is seeing a very slight nerf to their uptime of Feint and Evasion. Finally, Affliction Warlocks are seeing an overall 5% damage amp. This buff is less impactful for PvE because pet damage ends up being a good portion of your overall output, but this change is significant in PvP where you're less likely to use pets for damage. Also, all specs of Warlocks are seeing a defensive buff within PvP, starting with Dark Pack, which is going to be amplified in its absorb value. Essence Drain PvP talent is now going to be more impactful in reducing the damage done to the Warlock. Gateway Mastery will further improve on the mobility of the Warlock and their party, and the value of Soul Leech is getting amplified for Affliction Warlock as well. Recently, Blizzard released yet another major build for the internal developer version of Dragonflight. Usually, these builds are kept private, though Blizzard does make some of them public in anticipation to big news and announcements. This recent alpha build just changed from a 9.25 to a proper 10.0 version, and many in the community believe that this small adjustment could be Blizzard hinting that an alpha or a beta is just around the corner. With the Dragonflight pre-order, we also find out that this expansion is set to be released by the end of the year 2022. Unless we hear about a delay announcement in the near future, that means Blizzard has a limited time window between now and the Dragonflight release. Usually most expansions get a few months of testing before the final product goes public, and if Dragonflight is the same, then we should be seeing an alpha or a beta extremely soon. The alpha progress would also give many of us an idea of just how finished this expansion really is. Nobody expected a 2020 release date, and many in the community believe that Blizzard could potentially be rushing this expansion out before it is truly ready. Though in multiple interviews they did mention that they've been working on this expansion for quite some time. A glimpse of the alpha or the beta would give many of us a better idea of just how finished Dragonflight truly is. It could be possible that this expansion is much easier to develop, unlike Shadowlands, Battle for Azeroth, or Legion, which were system-heavy expansions. With Dragonflight, we won't have any Covenant abilities, soulbinds, or conduits to collect. No legendary systems or legendary crafting, and we don't have anything like Torghast with its mandatory legendary currency that we have to farm on all of our characters every single week. In Dragonflight, however, we will have dragon riding, which so far sounds like a form of traveling and exploration rather than a system that impacts your endgame performance. And instead of borrowed powers, we're getting talent trees back. While all classes do need to be tested, they do seem less complicated than soulbinds, conduits, Battle for Azeroth, Azerite gear, or the necklace, or the artifact weapons of Legion. As of this current moment, we don't have an official release date for Dragonflight. We only know that the release window ends at the end of 2022, though some in the community believe that a potential release month could be the month of November. During the wait for Dragonflight, we saw a lot of quote-unquote leaks that detailed the next World of Warcraft expansion, and majority of these leaks were proven wrong, with the reveal of Dragonflight roughly 2 months ago. But one leak ended up being more precise than most, predicting fairly accurately the name of the expansion, the features, as well as the new race and the Evoker class. Because of this leak's relative accuracy, many players went back to it to see if they can extrapolate even more information. And that same leak suggests that the expansion pre-patch will be launching in November. From here is just a speculation, but if the expansion is set to release in November, this means Blizzard has even less time to get some alpha and beta testing. This means the earlier they release a playable Dragonflight alpha, the more testing and insight we can get on the brand new expansion. And that's going to be all of the major updates we have to classes in the patch 9.25, as well as any future Dragonflight announcements. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think we'll be seeing a possible Dragonflight alpha or beta? Do you think we could see it as early as this week or the next, or potentially later in the months? And how likely do you think that they will delay the Dragonflight expansion? Let me know what you think about the class updates and what other playstyles are you hoping get buffed for Season 4 in the future. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single live stream and video, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or discuss with the other members of the community what you think about the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.